Confidence is arguably the most important ingredient in succeeding as an athlete, but athletes often struggle to find and keep this elusive trait. The problem lies in that they have a skewed understanding of what confidence actually is and where it comes from. I'm Dr. Cassie Preston, a mental performance coach and founder of CP Mindset, and today I'm going to show you how to play with confidence. Now, first, here are the four main reasons why athletes struggle with confidence. First is yo-yo confidence. And so this means you're attaching your self-image to the external results or praise. And so what do we see? Confidence is up when things are going well, and then it plummets when things aren't going well. And so we yo-yo up and down and up and down. Second is imposter syndrome. And pretty much this is about a deep rooted sense of self-worth. You believe that's not you. You have a limited view of yourself and you believe you're not the person that can become this. And therefore you're an imposter to try and be that or think that way, which is obviously very limiting. Victim mentality is about blaming and not taking responsibilities. So it's about how everything is affecting you instead of taking responsibility and how you can take control and impact those things around you. Lastly is about negativity bias. And this simply means we overly focus on what's not going well. We beat ourselves up. And this is a survival mechanism. We're inherently prone to focus on threats and keep us safe from danger. But this is obviously limiting as an elite athlete. And this one can definitely work hand in hand with imposter syndrome. However, you can certainly overcome these four limiting beliefs by following these three steps to start playing with confidence. First of which is to actually stop focusing on the word confidence. And I'll get into that shortly because it's such a tainted word. Second is about owning your capabilities, which is what we actually want to do, but sometimes it's easier said than done. So we're going to give some strategy and ways to make that easier for you. And lastly is about building momentum, because with the first two strategies, we want to make sure we're moving in the right direction, adding this compound effect, but also we want to make sure we can keep momentum when adversity strikes. Quick reminder to like and subscribe. And if you're interested in one-on-one mental performance coaching, find out more at cpmindset.com. All right, so that first step is actually to stop using the word confidence because it's a tainted word. We have it so associated with results and praise, external things that aren't fully in control. And so therefore that yo-yo confidence is quite common when the results or the praise or the external things stop coming your way. And the other big reason though, why it's important to stop using it is because if you start to believe you have a confidence problem, well, then it's going to be self-perpetuating and make it more of a problem. Who says you have a confidence problem? It's you, and you labeling yourself as a confidence problem doesn't make the solution very easy and often makes it much worse. So instead, what we want to focus on is your capabilities. And it's about owning the work you put in. When you put in work, that makes you capable. This is now a much more stable trait. And the idea is you have to own it, which we'll get into in part two. But now it's a lot easier. Instead of believing you have a confidence problem and you got to work on that. And how do you work on it? It's, hey, I'm not owning my capabilities. And my job is to make sure I fully own them. And so to summarize, this makes it much more within your control. It's an easier solution to focus on owning your capabilities than getting your confidence back. So let's jump straight to step two about owning your capabilities, because sometimes this is much easier said than done. And one of the main big problems we see with athletes is they have this inner narrative that I'm always too hard on myself. I consistently beat myself up. They have a hard time owning their capabilities because they have a negatively skewed version of yourself. So the idea here is, how is this narrative working for you? You don't have to believe and don't have to continue to be someone that's too hard on yourself. Now, maybe you've been doing this for years. And it's called like learned helplessness. It's just the way you've always been, but it doesn't mean it's the way you have to continue to be in moving forward. And so you can change the narrative and stop believing that you're just this person that's going to always be too hard and has a hard time owning their capabilities. Switch that narrative. So one strategy to help with this is to create like a power statement or this exercises of when this happens or when I'm thinking this way, I no longer go down that road and I go this way instead. So an example would be, when I'm trying to predict or think about how the day is going to go. So when I'm thinking about the future, I no longer have to get pessimistic and focus on, oh, I don't know if I'm good enough, and have a negative view and perception about how things might go. And instead, I own my capabilities. I don't downplay all the work I've done. I know what I'm capable. And to be clear, this doesn't mean you're like super positive and just, oh, everything's going to be great. It's having a realistic but accurate view of yourself. Now, as I just said, how do you get this accurate view of yourself? Well, one way to do that is actually to compare yourself in a healthy way to a teammate or the best players in the league or that you compete against. And you can look at it, and we break it down in more detail and different in our programs and videos. But the idea is comparing yourself based on the different skills. Hey, how do I rank versus this person? No, they're a 9. I'm an 8. They're a 10 at this, and I'm a 9, and so forth. And you go down, you're like, hey, you actually might be a lot closer than you think. And so now that's what you're capable. And it's not based on what has your performance been, is what are you capable when you're trusting yourself and you're playing with confidence or you're just playing free. That's what your capabilities are. And so that's a healthy version. It's not supposed to be judgmental and overly opinionated and to beat yourself up or put others down or etc. It's just about getting an accurate view of who you are, what you're capable, and where you are right now. The second point here is to get in the practice of owning your greatness. And so a simple thing you can start doing, and we want all athletes and anybody pretty much to do, is write down your wins every day. And we actually have an exercise where we get athletes to go back and write down their wins over the last decade and years in their career, not just in the sport, but in other areas. And it's getting this practice of and the ability and mindset that you can own your capabilities and own your greatness and stop downplaying yourself. And this becomes really important when you combine these two, because sometimes it's like, oh, I don't know, am I really that close to that top player? And it's like, well, yeah, if you actually are, own it. It might be a little bit uncomfortable because you're so used to being hard on yourself or you feel like you don't have the results that they have, etc. But what are you capable? And try it on. Try owning your greatness. And after a few days, you start to get a little more comfortable with it. A really big exercise that we do with a lot of our athletes in our one-on-ones is help them develop a unique persona and alter ego that can be great for helping with this as well. Now, though, the last point for owning your capabilities is around reflecting on it daily. So every day it's like, hey, did I own my capabilities when I had the puck in the scoring area? Or did I own my capabilities when I was doing a certain behavior for your sport that you really want to work on and that confidence really matters? And giving yourself a rating or reflection on that helps you consistently hold yourself accountable, keep learning and growing, and going in the right direction. You do steps 1 and 2, you're on the right direction. You're not getting caught up in the confidence trap and thinking about the yo-yo, focus on external stuff. And now you're also starting to own your capabilities, but you want to make sure you're building momentum. And the problem around momentum and confidence is, again, the external results. Most people believe and they're waiting on external things to give them confidence and momentum. And think of it as an athlete, if you're showing up and you're like hoping it goes well, you hope your teammates or your coaches or the opponents, things go your way, and that's how you're going to build momentum. Well, that is, again, not a consistent way to perform and be at your best. And it's really problematic when adversity strikes and things don't go your way. Then you're going to feel like you have no momentum, you can't get it, and things are going against you. However, the reality is real momentum is about coming from within. That's the source. Think of the best players. They're the spark plug. They're momentum builders. You can treat each shift, each game as an opportunity to go out there and build momentum. Now, this way, you're not hoping that you're going to get momentum. You're going out there and attacking each opportunity. And so you can do that every shift. And so every game. Now, are you going to be perfect at it? Well, that might be the goal and intent, but it's about doing your best at it, learning and growing, and really building this mentality. And that's key for confidence. Now, 2 quick points here. You can go and actually rate yourself. So if you got like 15 shifts, let's use a hockey example. You won't build momentum as a result and have a positive impact shift every shift, but maybe it's like 10 or 12 or 11 out of 15 shifts. But every shift, you can have a 15 out of 15. You can have that mindset. I'm going to go build momentum regardless of what happened in the last shift. And the last point where this build momentum often becomes most important is when adversity strikes. Maybe there's 4 or 5 adversities in a game or a situation, and how did you respond? And so that becomes a key thing to get players to reflect on. Hey, did you go 5 for 5 out of those 5 times where there was a mistake or goal against or things didn't go your way? Did you respond, focus on being a momentum builder, and get back after it into the next shift? So this is key for resilience, for grit. And because resilience, grit, the other mental skills are all interrelated. In order to have consistent confidence, you need to be that momentum builder. You need to have that resilience and not allow the adversities to throw you off. One of the most common mistakes we'll see around confidence is, yeah, okay, I'm going to own my capabilities shift after shift, being a momentum builder. And then adversity happens. And now you have a hard time owning it, and you don't own it after and after for the next few shifts until hopefully something good happens again. That is not being a momentum builder and a very big mistake we want to avoid. All right, so that wraps it up. Those are 3 key, simple steps, but important ways to think differently about confidence and your mental preparation so that you can be consistent in your performance, your mindset, and playing with confidence day in, day out. And again, just to summarize here, step one, stop actually focusing on confidence itself. It's tainted. Focus on owning your capabilities. Then do the exercises around owning your capabilities, where you let go of any limiting narratives and you make sure that you're accurately assessing what you're capable, reflecting and owning your greatness in that category. And now, lastly, build momentum. Be a momentum builder. Be that spark plug. Don't let adversity throw you off. Keep moving forward. Each shift, each game, treat it like an opportunity to go and attack and build momentum. Hopefully you found this video helpful and it helped make confidence not seem like such an elusive trait. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow us for more tips on how to win the mental game. And if you know anyone that might benefit from this video or post, please share it with them. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next video.